Okay, so there's this thing hurtling through our solar system right now, and scientists are completely divided on what it is. It's called 3I/Atlas, and depending on who you talk to, it's either just a boring old comet or it's something way, way more extraordinary. Today we are diving deep into this cosmic mystery.
So, what is this thing? Ever since it was first spotted, 3I/Atlas has kicked off this really intense debate. It's basically pitting NASA's official, very cautious explanation against some pretty provocative theories from one of its sharpest critics. The question really is that simple. Are we looking at a rock, or is it something else entirely?
All right, to really get to the bottom of this, we need to understand what makes this visitor so weird. From the moment we laid eyes on it, its behavior just didn't add up.
Right out of the gate, Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb started flagging a whole series of bizarre behaviors. He pointed out its strange tail and, get this, an anti-tail, which is not something comets usually have. He also noted its sudden, totally unexplained changes in color and speed. But the most baffling clue of all? A rhythmic 16.16-hour heartbeat where the object brightens and dims with absolute clockwork regularity. I mean, none of this exactly screams normal comet, does it?
But despite all these oddities, NASA's public stance has been super consistent and, cautious. They're maintaining that 3I/Atlas is simply a comet passing through our solar system, and they've been very clear that it poses absolutely no threat to us here on Earth.
So this disagreement really leads to two completely different explanations for what we're seeing. On one side, you have the established conservative scientific view. And on the other, well, you have a theory that sounds like it was pulled straight out of science fiction.
And here's really the core of the whole debate. NASA sees a natural, though definitely unusual, comet that just needs more observation. Avi Loeb, however, he's not ruling out the possibility that we're looking at something artificial, maybe an alien artifact whose strange behaviors aren't random at all but are actually purposeful. It's the classic showdown, an object to observe versus a mystery we need to solve.
For a little while, this debate was pretty much at a standstill. But then, a shocking new discovery came to light, one that has forced everyone, and I mean everyone, including NASA, to reconsider what 3I/Atlas might actually be.
The big game changer was what the object was leaking. It turns out scientists detected that 3I/Atlas is spewing out enormous quantities of two very specific chemicals, methanol and hydrogen cyanide. And these aren't just random compounds. They are fundamental ingredients for creating life itself.
And the scale of this is just staggering. It's releasing 40 kilograms of methanol every single second. That is a colossal amount, way, way more than any normal comet would.
Now, this is what's really interesting. Take a look at this comparison. The vapor that's coming off 3I/Atlas is about 8% methanol. For comets that were born right here in our own solar system, that number is usually only about 2%. So this visitor is 4 times richer in this key ingredient than anything we're used to.
So why does this matter so much? What is it about this specific chemical signature that has the whole scientific community buzzing?
Well, it all comes down to something called prebiotic chemistry. This is the science of how life's fundamental building blocks, things like amino acids and proteins, can form from simpler, non-living molecules. It's basically the recipe for creating life from scratch.
And this illustrates the process perfectly. Methanol is a foundational ingredient. In the super cold environments where comets form, it helps create more complex organic molecules. Those molecules can then combine to form amino acids and proteins, which eventually can lead to the complex structures of DNA and RNA. In short, methanol can literally kickstart the entire process of life.
This potential leads to a really powerful and honestly unsettling idea from Avi Loeb, who wrote that 3I/Atlas could be one of two things, a life giver or a death bringer.
This is what led Loeb to propose his gardener analogy. Is it possible that 3I/Atlas is some kind of cosmic gardener, traveling the galaxy and seeding planets with the chemical ingredients for life? It's a totally wild idea. But here's the craziest part. It's a theory that even NASA is now taking seriously.
But just when that whole friendly gardener theory starts to sound pretty plausible, the evidence takes another complicated turn.
Dr. Martin Cordiner's team at NASA, the same one that confirmed the methanol findings, also detected something else, hydrogen sulfide. Now, while methanol and hydrogen cyanide are crucial for life, hydrogen sulfide is a highly toxic compound. In fact, it was actually used as a chemical weapon during World War I. So this discovery complicates the picture a lot.
Despite this pretty troubling find, Dr. Cordiner himself says he's still optimistic. He argues that because the production of methanol is so overwhelmingly high compared to the other compounds, the visitor's nature still appears to be friendly. The life-giving potential, he suggests, outweighs the threat.
But look, this debate is far from over. We may get our best look, and maybe some real answers, on December 19th. That's the date when 3I/Atlas is scheduled to make its closest approach to Earth, giving all of our instruments an unprecedented opportunity to study it up close.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As this mysterious object gets closer and closer, what exactly are we waiting for? A cosmic gardener here to seed life? Or a deathbringer carrying a message we might not be prepared to receive? We may find out very, very soon.